Hey guys, how's it going? Lee here. Well, it seems like we're well into June, and I just wanted to do a video on the stocks that I'm actually looking at in the month of June. We're now, in the 9th? So, yeah, there's only a few stocks I'm actually looking at this month. There's not too much that kind of is intriguing for me. There's only about 2 stocks that I'm just going to go through today, and the first one is Nearmap. Now, Nearmap is an Australian company that provides location data and aerial imagery and is constantly updated several times throughout a year. Now, they currently have about 88% of Australia covered in terms of our population, 68% of the US population, and 72% of New Zealand. And now the equivalent and the competitor for Nearmap is Google Maps. Now, we all know Google Maps. We've used it before. It helps us get around the place wherever you travel around the world, essentially, as long as they've got information in that area. But essentially, it's imagery that's taken from a satellite in space, but the image are not of high quality. And although you can use it for getting around here and there's been times when I've used Google Maps and looked at an area of a street and gone, that's kind of out of place, and have noticed that it was last updated in 2012 or something like that. So they don't update as frequently. And if you were using it for your business, it would be horrible because the unclear images would not provide you with any substantial information that you could use for things such as getting quotes. And this is where Nearmap steps in. Now, the model of Nearmap is a subscription-based service, and all of their data is within the cloud. What they do is they actually fly a plane over certain areas, and it's mainly city areas where the property or the area has substantial economic value within it. So they don't actually go and fly out into regional areas or rural areas to take photos because, there wouldn't be many consumers and customers that would want that kind of imagery, and it wouldn't be a great use of their resources. Now, kind of like Afterpay, they've gained larger traction over in the US, and I can only see this getting bigger. As a B2B service, it's already attracted many customers from a wide range of professions. Basically, anything that has to do with work on the outside of an area, you're going to need to use Nearmap for, or it'll be very helpful in reducing the amount of work and resources that you have to put into your project. Some of their customers and clientele include engineering firms, local government, utilities, insurance, real estate, koala rescues, and even lawyers. And online, I found some news articles that had a quote from Utah's largest landscaping company called Elite Grounds. And they basically outlined how Nearmap has actually helped their company save a lot of time and money. So what Nearmap's actually done for them is actually help them eliminate time on site and prevent changing orders, and has reduced job estimated times by about 75%. The time savings has also allowed them to take on more projects than ever. And that there's only one example. I can see Nearmap scaling much larger once the name starts to get out there, even in the US, and as it continues to grow, obviously domestically in Australia. And as they take on bigger and bigger projects, and the name starts to build a moat for itself, the sky's the limit. Another form of use that I can see this company branching out into is helping companies develop machine learning. Now, in Australia, we already have automated farming, particularly down in New South Wales, where the University of New South Wales has been working with a lot of farmers to develop these drones that can water things and all these other kind of cool machines. Now, what do you think happens when we start including high quality imagery that's updated frequently into these machines? They'll be able to take on much larger projects and know where to route themselves and come back around and know what to look for as they're going along. So I can see this going further than actually just being a B2B service and branching out possibly into AI or the automation of jobs that we currently do. And I guess to play devil's advocate, the negatives of the stock is that, there's really nothing that stops another company from coming to steal their model. There's really nothing to stop Google from bringing forth, high quality imagery and doing the same thing. However, I don't think at this point it would be within the best interest of Google to actually allocate capital towards that space. Now, in the near and distant future, I see Nearmap doing quite well if they continue to branch into other areas of the world, which I saw in an interview. I think they're branching out into Canada next as their next spot. And also if they head into that machine learning AI kind of route, which could generate them quite a bit of revenue. And the second stock I'm looking at is Zippay. Now, if you saw my Afterpay video, you've seen that I've made a $5,000 profit on my first big swing trade. Now, in my opinion, Afterpay has done a lot of growing already internationally, domestically. They've really done very well to secure their position within the buy now, pay later space, which unfortunately has been accounted for and whatnot in the price already. So my reasoning for not continuing to go into Afterpay and venturing into Zippay is that Zippay hasn't had that same growth as Afterpay has. So it has so much more room to grow in terms of share price. Most recently, they've made deals with Kmart and Officeworks, and those announcements would boost the share price up to 4 to 6 to 8%. And that's a drastic increase when the price is currently, I think, at $3, and you can go into it at such greater volume that your profit margin would be drastically bigger. Another reason why I'm going into Zippay also as opposed to Afterpay is that the expectation for Afterpay is so high now because its share price has just shot up so drastically. Whereas for Zippay, it's still growing. It's still the little brother. There's still not as big of an expectation on them to grow in such large numbers. So as soon as an announcement comes out and as soon as they create more partnerships, I can see the share price going up drastically. And this is only talking domestically. They don't even have all the partnerships that Afterpay has, and they haven't really made the systems as intuitive as Afterpay has. So the ceiling for growth is just so high that they can get up to, and I'm hoping to ride the stock all the way upwards to possibly $5 to $8, which is my bullish thesis for this stock. However, without a crystal ball and not knowing the future, this is really just a spec play for me, as is many swing trades if you talk about the investing fundamentals. Now you'll notice that I haven't mentioned numbers when I'm going into these two stocks. My way of looking at it is that yes, I do look at the financial situations of stocks that I look to invest in, and as long as they're not in a huge amount of debt, I don't mind, because these are swing trade stocks that I'm going to be a part of. And at the end, you have to remember that a stock is just a representation of the business and the people that run it. So if I believe in the business model and if I see that they're going in the right way and there's room for growth, I will allocate capital and invest in it for the swing trade in the future. Because no matter how hard people look at numbers, no matter how accurate we think they may be, which by the way, you can use all kinds of metrics to play around with those numbers, annual contract values, users per month, daily users, whatever metrics you want to use. They can use any of that, obviously, to make the company look really good. So at the end of the day, I always look at what the company is providing in terms of a service or a product and where could they possibly go in terms of growth. And these are the two stocks that I'm currently looking at. They're both valued at a decent price, and I can see them just going much higher. But anyways, guys, that's just something quick and short for me in terms of the stocks that I'm looking at in June. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know below what stocks you're looking at and why. So maybe I can get some tips off you guys as well and some hints, maybe certain things in stocks that have slipped my mind throughout the month. And I hope to see you later. Ciao.